Rosenberg, Bob Stewart here at BSMODS. We thought we'd do a really quick video about Scrapyard Wars and our experience in Canada getting to build some pretty cool PCs.
Yeah, we had a good time up there. It was kind of like a little adventure for us, you know. We down here in the lower 48 had to make a drive up to see the guys in Canada, and that on its own was a little bit of an experience, you know. Kind of a long drive, had to sit in traffic, going on 1 hour of sleep, hadn't shaved, was just wearing sweats. I mean, it was like, looked pretty bad, you know, but whatever, we made it. Had a little layover at the border. Kind of an adventure on its own as well. Turns out you got to really declare any kind of weaponry you have, so yeah, you might want to think about that if you go up there.
Even the cheapest stun gun is pretty ridiculous in Canada, I guess.
Yeah, don't forget, if you have a stun gun in your glove box, that is a weapon. So yeah, found that out anyway. But
one thing that really surprised us when we got up there is the amount of work it takes to push out the videos that the LTT staff do. There's like editors and videos and camera shots and sound bites, and is this published and when's this go live and this one's coming out, and watching that process happen and unfold as we were filming was pretty amazing. Tons of respect for those guys.
Yeah, those guys are working hard. You know, you'd think that they would just have it easy and just, you know, stand around and have fun and whatever. But I mean, they're working super hard. We're really surprised at how hard they actually worked, and long hours too. You know, and you know, they get there in the morning and they just got to go. You know, and so props to those guys. I was really surprised. I mean, we think of ourselves as pretty hard workers with all we do, and man, those guys were right there with us the whole time, easy. So anyway, yeah, so like Rod said, you know, we just want to talk about the trip a little bit, and we just kind of want to go through some of the things that we I guess our view on Scrapyard Wars, some of the things that happened and things like that. But so we thought we'd maybe bounce a couple questions back and forth off of each other, and just kind of answer that, and then maybe just go from there. We're going to try to keep this just a short video, but so basically, I guess one of the questions that I think would come up would be, after seeing the video and doing it in person, is we realized how hard it is to be out of your environment when you're working on stuff, and you know, not just being in a different location, but not having everything you're used to having, you know. So like so basically, like for me, I guess my question to you would be, what tool, is there a specific tool or is there a specific thing that you would wish that you would have had while you were there?
There's a lot of tools missing, you know, from the arsenal. I mean, a lot of them we could make do with, but for me, I think the tool that could have maybe helped put the mod on another level would have been the vinyl plotter. And it's kind of a crazy big tool, but the ability to put a stencil to like put like something that ties into the theme on the chassis, or just even simply vinyl lettering, wow, would have been amazing, and it would have been quick too. So, what about for you? What tool?
Probably for me, and this is what hurt me, was lack of paint type oriented stuff. You know, I was working with just my little airbrush and Linus's less than extravagant paint booth, and so no, I would have loved to have had all my arsenal of paint stuff with me, you know, and you know, one of the things that obviously killed me was, you know, not having a stripe on the paint job. I originally talked about having that stripe on the outside of the case, you know, like a racing stripe, and I just didn't get to it, you know, and that killed me for sure on aesthetic points and everything, you know, on the build. But so yeah, I guess I would say, you know, spray equipment, or maybe a bigger air compressor, or just a little better spray booth, or just something with paint, you know, is really what killed me.
Paint definitely revolved around that one.
Yeah.
So if you had one more hour of time, to work on the build, and you took the build from where it ended up, and you could add one more hour,
Yeah.
what would you have done?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because I actually would have had an extra hour of time. But, not to point fingers, but Linus just had to have this extra set of RAM. He needed another 8 gigs of RAM. He's a hardware guy, you know, and I just, you know, I was kind of just letting him do whatever he wanted to do pretty much, you know, and you know, he wanted 8 more gigs of RAM, and I kind of threw it out there that, you know, we were going to have to take the time to go get it and the trip back and forth because we had to stay with each other the whole time, you know, so
Right.
it's not like I could stay there and paint and then he goes and gets the RAM. So if I would have had that extra time, I could have got that stripe on there, and then it would have been a lot higher points for the mod itself, you know, because it really was
Would have
going
made
to
it more cohesive.
Yeah, and I didn't really get a chance to show what the stripe was going to look like, but I was actually going to put a stripe over the top and then go down, and then inside the stripe I was going to like have it say Scrapyard War Rig, you know, in the stripe itself with the silver lettering. So it would have looked really cool and sporty. So I think it would have. I mean, it wouldn't have been fire. I mean, maybe I should have painted flames on it. I don't know. I could have airbrushed some flames, but I don't know. It's hard to compete with real fire. So, but
Right.
anyway, that's what I'd have done with an hour. What about you?
You know, there was a couple like flaws that we had. One of them was when we put the panels back on the chassis, the top plate that we took
Yeah.
off
Saw that.
exposed, and we filled it in with some burlap, but had we started to put the thing back, we could have put the top plate in, cut it out the hole where the iron grate went, and painted it all up, and it would have made our mod just look so much more complete.
Yeah.
But it would have taken a bit of time to kind of go backwards and then back forwards.
Actually, I changed my answer. So if I would have had one more hour of time, if I could have had it in the beginning, I would have shaved. Because I hadn't shaved in like a week, man. I looked like a homeless dude. In fact, I think a couple people even pointed that out. Thank you very much. Fuck you all. But no, it was, yeah, I mean, you know, I could have shaved.
Homeless.
Maybe I could have took a shower and shaved and not looked like, you know, some
It's not
scrappy guy.
homeless, it's rugged.
But you know, it was Scrapyard Wars, so I was looking scrappy.
Right.
For Scrapyard Wars, right? So, no, but yeah, anyway, so you know, do you want to talk about the border crossing at all? I mean, do we want to touch on that anymore? Or,
No, I think we kind of covered that.
Yeah.
We sat on some, you know, like airport style seats and like, you know, other people that got called in, like they came and then they went,
Yeah.
and someone else came and they went.
Yeah.
It was like, oh crap, and I'm like, well, we had an extra half hour, but we still made it in pretty good time.
Yeah. So no, basically the moral of the story is make sure you know what's in your vehicle before you cross a border, I guess. But okay, so then you know, one thing that was funny that we could talk about is on the way there we talked about playing some pranks on them.
Right.
Because they like to mess with people, right?
Yep.
So if you watch their shows and stuff, you know that they always do stuff, like little tricks to people that work there and that kind of thing. So we were gonna put like, we were gonna try to be there early actually, and then we were gonna put crime scene tape across the front of the building and all this stuff, so that when they showed up, that would be on there, and we had all these things planned, but we ended up having some fun with some stickers. So what did we do?
So we had some nice, maybe 4-inch tall dick butt stickers of some various. I think we had frosted and black. We had white one. We had white ones, white and black. Maybe.
Did we do all white though? I think we just stuck all white ones.
Maybe we had all white ones.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny.
So right away, we're unloading, and there's a side door where they load all their stuff kind of into the warehouse, and I go through that door and I notice that on the glass there's a dick butt, like right eye level, maybe below eye level for me, but eye level for most people. And I like passed Bob at some point. I was like, "Did you put that on there?"
Yep.
Yep.
So the funny thing was, is we had like 5 stickers. So we were gonna be carefully placing dick butt stickers throughout the few days we were there, and you know we did it right under their nose, literally standing right next to them. We would just casually reach in our pocket and grab a dick butt sticker and just slap it on something, and then act like nothing even happened. And so it wasn't until like the very last day,
The
right?
last day, I think Brandon caught it and threw it out there on Twitter, and then a few more started showing up. I still think there's one more dick butt that is undiscovered.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, they don't know. They've only because at one point the Twitter like kind of blew up. They were like, you know, we've been violated or something, like all these pictures like, here's another one, oh my god, here's another one, but there's still one there that they don't know where it is. So anyway, so we had fun with that, and so that was pretty cool. Let's see, so should we talk about, there was a couple crazy things that happened towards the end. I mean, I wish they would have shown more of what really happened, the troubles we ran into at the very end. But so go ahead and basically tell your side of what happened.
So the troubles are kind of crazy, because then it's like, oh crap, we don't have time to film this, we got to fix this. But you know, we pulled apart our HP 8100, and you know, right away, and this is on the video, no 24 pin, and I'm like, crap. I've worked with a lot of this stuff, you know, dealing with 4 pins and 8 pins. You know, I kind of like threw some crap back at Austin when he had to deal with that, but no 24 pin, that's a whole new one. And
a little custom wiring.
I got to, you know, right away I noticed some of the wires were colored appropriately to the same colors you'd see in a 24 pin. So I knew I could map those. Had to use a voltmeter to pick out some other voltages, and then basically just cut all the wires off the Corsair power supply and then wire them into the pins for the HP, and solder, because we couldn't even repin some of the HP pins on like this weird proprietary piece, and then try to get our system to boot. And apparently we had to, at some point, I'm thinking, well, I've screwed the wiring, it's not going to boot. But in the end, it ended up being like the video card and you know, flashing the CMOS, the video card to kick in, and that's not really covering the video, but it took a lot of time, maybe 1 or 2 hours between the time we realized the motherboard was not going to work normally until we actually had a system that we thought we could get to boot.
So straight up panic.
Yeah, like total panic.
Something.
Like we're doing fine, and then like, are we even gonna have a system?
Yeah, that thing has to start, man.
So you guys were almost finished with your rig. What happened?
Well, basically we were finished. Linus had already bench tested all the hardware, and he'd already ran some benchmarks. Everything was great, and I was just messing with some stuff on the case, last minute paint work, and got everything ready. We started throwing in all the hardware, and it was like, I don't know, we had like 10 minutes or something, 5 minutes, whatever it was crazy. We just started sticking hardware in as fast as we could, and he had his whole head inside the chassis, and he's plugging stuff in, and at some point, I guess he plugged in plugged something into one of the headers. I think it was like a CPU fan header or something like that, and he didn't get it in quite right. It jumped on the terminal or something, but we fired it up. It started up, the lights came on, everything looked good. We were like, you know, yeah, we're awesome, you know, and so we thought we were good, right. And then we took it over to hook it up to a monitor and stuff like that, and then it wouldn't boot. And we were like, what the heck, man? So our camera guy was like, oh, I smelled something burning when you guys turned it on. And I'm like, well, whoa. Dude, why didn't you say anything? Like, you know, but I mean, it's not his job, whatever, right. You know, he's got to be.
Not your job, Brandon.
Yeah, sorry, cool. Brandon, but no, I mean, he smelled something burning. I was like, I didn't smell anything. So anyway, so we, you know, took it back apart, and well, we tried all these things first, you know, just trying the basics, you know, troubleshooting stuff, and then we ended up, man, we had to pull the motherboard out, and we noticed on the back side that there was one of the tracers, you know, on the circuit, one of the pieces of circuit, you know, that runs between some headers, and it turned out it was between the fan headers, and it was curled back and just crispy and just burnt, and we were like, oh no, now what, you know? Ooh. So we were dead. We just figured, well, we fried this board. I mean, you just don't come back from that usually. No. So I started thinking, you know, because I don't ever give up, man. I was like, nah, there's got to be a way to fix it. This just isn't happening. It's not going to happen, period. You know, there's got to be a way to figure this out. So I kind of was just, you know, Linus and I were both kind of brainstorming ideas, and I just kind of thought of it as, well, if you have a point, you know, point A and a point B, and you've broken that link, it makes sense, and it seems like common sense that you should just have to somehow get those points connected again. So originally we were thinking we would just like run a little tiny jumper wire on the back side between those 2 points, you know, but of course, you know, a motherboard, printed circuit board, there's multiple layers with, you know, all kinds of stuff inside that you can't see. So we don't know what's burnt inside or if it's just limited to that area. But anyway, so we just, at some point we were like, well, God, we don't even need to solder anything on the backside. You know, we can just literally run a wire from the one jumper, from the one socket over to another socket, and it might work, you know, if that energizes it. And we did it, and it actually booted. And we don't know why, but it actually did. So, you know, it's worth a shot. Why not? If it's fried, it's fried. If you do that, it's not going to screw it up any worse than it is. So, so it just saved the day, man, and we were up and running. So that was a close call. So,
amazing that both teams ran into
electrical issues. Yeah,
ran into like some pretty crazy electrical issues.
Totally.
So I pulled some of the comments that I thought were really cool off, like some off all the videos, and even a couple off Vessel.
Oh yeah, everybody's comments.
So Jordan,
good and bad.
Jordan's on Vessel said you should do season 5 at Bob and Rob's. It's actually Rod, but close enough.
ROD. D as in David, dog, whatever. Dog.
Place in America with swap teammates. So right here. With Rod and Linus, tall and short.
Me and Luke.
And then, you and Luke.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, for sure. And wait, and here or what? Like
that's what he proposed. It was here as well. So.
Oh man, those guys wouldn't know what to do with all the tools we have.
Yeah.
They'd be scared. Chips flying, man.
So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to do something else with those guys. So here's another one. This one's from Vic Viper. Poor Bob. He's so patient with Linus, especially when every episode Linus takes more and more money from his mod.
Yeah, man. Totally, dude.
And then he finished with, those BSMOD guys seem pretty laid back and chill to hang out with.
So, yeah, I mean, everybody saw, like, my cut for this deal was getting smaller and smaller, like, really fast, man. I was like, started out, he was like, you have like, I think it was like $90 to do the mod. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's cutting it kind of, but then it was like, you have like, you know, $20 to do this mod. And at one point it was like, I think like less than $1. And I was just, okay, whatever, you know, hey man, we're used to making stuff work. So, you know, figured do whatever we could. But if you notice, man, I was going through there saving money like crazy. I was haggling everybody, like beating them up on price and stuff like that. And I ended up saving us a lot of money. So probably needed it.
Yeah. Suicidal Kitten said, Bob is cool as hell.
Oh man, yeah, you know, I fully agree with that statement, actually.
He's actually pretty cool.
Oh man. No,
so this is another one. This one's directed at you again.
Oh, great, what?
And I think you kind of started this while you were filming.
Whoa,
Scrapyard Wars Season 4.
Cheat Yard?
Cheat Yard.
Cheat Yard. Oh,
let's see what tricks in quotes Linus has this time. That's from Patrick Kubak.
Okay, so yeah, because I asked him about cheating. I think I mentioned something about if he was going to cheat or that he didn't cheat, something like that. But anyway, no, man, I was proud of him. He didn't cheat, actually. So he did not cheat at all.
So Luxamine on Vessel said, I was waiting for someone to catch fire. My money was on Dennis. Great series, though. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, when you got real fire, that is a possibility.
You know, that was definitely something we thought about, was like, wow, I hope we don't burn something down. Smoke alarms, I was really kind of concerned about. Luke's
That
like,
thing
nah,
put
the
out-
warehouse is fine. It's really big, and we didn't burn it very long in the warehouse. And luckily, we were in the garage for the voting, and there wasn't any smoke alarms. It did kind of turn the ceiling sort of black.
Yeah.
It was,
That thing was
just-
putting out tons of black smoke.
It was
dude.
pretty sooty stuff.
I thought you guys like had a diesel engine in that thing, man. It was just like coming out of there, like it was bad, yeah.
Jack Wynn said, loving this season. Great job on the edit, Ed. And we couldn't agree more. Edsel did a fantastic job cutting this whole thing together. I wonder, I guess the question for Ed is, how much footage was there? I mean, there must have been hours and hours and hours that he just even had to sift through.
Well, you know, I think, you know, we watched the episodes and it's funny because we look at it from a different side of things, you know, because we were involved in it. But so the things that I see that didn't make it that I thought would have been awesome for everybody else to see, it's too bad that people can't see a lot of that footage, you know, because there were a lot of pretty good moments, I think, that everybody kind of missed out on. But man, you got to pack it into this, you know, amount of time where it's still watchable, and you can't really watch the actual amount of time, you know. It was just because we ran all day for 3 days. It was just go.
And I mean, chasing all the leads, it was kind of slow
Yeah,
at first,
yeah.
but once we got into the building, at least for us, since that's what we do, it definitely got more exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. It was fun, but
So this was a question I saw quite a few times. This is from Ben, the king of narwhals. And how effing tall is Rod?
oh man, here let's find out.
Yeah. So I'm taller than Luke,
Here,
and I think I'm twice as tall as Linus. Oh, hold on, the camera's not quite tall enough. You're gonna have to just read it out.
holy crap, dude! Are you like? Oh, I can't. Hold on, let me get on this stool. Okay. Dude, you are 6'6", almost on the wait.
6'6". I think it's
You're-
more like about
okay.
6'5".
With the short hair,
With
he's
the
6'6".
shoes. Okay, with the short hair and the shoes. So, I don't know, 6'5". So, there you go. Luke is shorter than 6'5", but he's still pretty tall. Linus,
He's a
I don't know.
monster.
How tall's Linus? 4'9"? I don't know.
See, I'm not short. He's just a freaking beast. That's all.
So, Bader Al-Sadiri,
I'm sure you said that one,
it's
right?
probably right. Next up on Scrapyard Wars, Luke's rig sparks an electrical fire and burns the whole studio down. That was pretty likely.
coulda happened.
But it wasn't the electrical fire that was going to burn it down. At least we got lucky on that
Well,
one.
you guys had not only tiki torch things, so you had oil in there that was burning.
Right.
You had propane cylinders. Dude, there, oh my God, who knows what could have happened in that scenario. And so then you had an issue with the power supply thing. And I mean,
Right.
if you wouldn't have wired that thing up right and there would have been
Couple
a smallest
sparks.
leak or anything, that would have been the most epic Scrapyard Wars ever.
Luke has no hair for the next month.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Okay, EJ Mercer said it would be really cool if they rewired the megawatt meter to show CPU load, temp, or gigahertz somehow. And that meter was cool. Seeing a megawatt meter, that's not something you just go into an O'Reilly's and buy. Or even probably to a Granger or an electrical company. That was a pretty cool meter. There's a couple problems with wiring it up. Figuring out how to wire it's one thing. There's not really manuals available for those, and we had to dump all the water out of that meter to start with.
Yeah, it wasn't ever going to work.
It
for
wasn't
anything,
really in the
actually.
best shape, and as you can see in the thing, it was floating around like 150 to 150, just like floating there.
Maybe it was gauging how much water was inside of it.
Yeah, or maybe the
100 milliliters of
temperature
water or
with the
something.
torch running below it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So this comment was epic. This is the one that just really made my day. Carl Oscar Sandstrom said, Bob's voice sounds really nice. It does. Kind of like Morgan Freeman.
What? Morgan Freeman?
Kind of white for a Morgan Freeman.
Oh my God! There's no way I sound like Morgan.
Yeah.
Wait,
So anyway,
let me do my best. Morgan Freeman. Let me think. What does he sound like? Well, I can't do it.
okay, so we'll have to figure out.
No, I can't do it, man.
We'll have to figure out
Sorry.
this one.
I don't know. I'll have to like compare. I'm not sure. Maybe just on the mic or something. But
So this was really a popular comment. This Rod guy says the word patina like it's his job.
Right. Yeah. I think he owns a percentage of the word patina, like, so he gets like 5 cents for every time it's used publicly or something, or
Every time you say patina, every time patina gets a view on YouTube,
there you go,
it's
man.
another hit, another click.
Yeah.
So I like to throw
Actually,
patina in quite a bit.
Actually, you do kind of use patina a lot, but
It's a really
but
cool
you know
word,
what?
you know?
I did pick up on that too, because when I was watching it, I don't remember if it was the first or second episode, but like, I noticed you were overusing it just a bit, and I was like, man, he's really onto that patina pretty
And
hard.
Edsel had to go ahead and like put a definition in, but it's a good word, especially when you're doing a rusty Mad Max-ish build, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of patina in that.
See, now do you get paid for that too?
Oh shit, I owe you 5 cents.
So yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the.
Patina.
Oh, there's one more. Mike 1997. Am I the only one who noticed the welder up hat?
Well,
And then he said Steve Darnell.
my welder up.
So yeah. So
Yeah,
the welder
actually,
up hat.
this is so we went there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Only
man.
in January.
Yeah.
With the guys from the Mod Zoo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so we went to that shop in Vegas. We went to CES.
Right.
Yeah, so CES, we all decided, we hooked up with the Mod Zoo guys, we went over to Welder Up shop, and in fact, we put a bunch of pictures of the stuff that we saw at the Welder Up shop. We put that on our Facebook at that point. So, yeah, that place is killer, man. Those guys do some awesome stuff, you know, so.
But anyway, thanks for watching. You can check out our Facebook or Twitter on the links below. Check out the rest of our videos on our page, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.